Have you ever had that moment where you stop and wonder, why does weird stuff keep happening to me? Like, is it just bad luck? Some kind of curse? Or do I just have a face that invites paranormal harassment? Because honestly, at this point, I was starting to think the universe was screwing with me. First, the old apartment with Josh. Then the old woman and the mysterious basket. I decided it was time for a fresh start. I found a new apartment across town, a modern building with bright hallways and friendly neighbors. It felt like the change I desperately needed. I settled in quickly, embracing my new era of peace. I went to work. I went to the gym. I even slept like a baby. For the first time in months, I was relaxed. Or at least, I thought I was. A few days after moving in, I met Clara, the woman living directly below me. She was in her late 50s, with a warm smile and a nurturing demeanor. Clara welcomed me with open arms, often inviting me over for tea and sharing stories about the neighborhood. But I kept my distance, not because I was rude, because after everything, I wasn't about to trust anyone offering me homemade treats. That's when I met Sophie. She lived on the same floor, 2 doors down. Beautiful, funny. The kind of girl who could make you forget you've been terrorized by the supernatural. One afternoon, she knocked on my door, holding a plate of cookies. "Hey, I just wanted to say welcome," she said with an easy smile. "I live just down the hall." I should have smiled back, should have thanked her. But the moment I saw her holding food, my brain short-circuited. Without thinking, I blurted out, "No. No gifts, no baskets, no weird welcome presents. I don't accept mysterious food from strangers anymore." Her smile faded. I realized instantly how insane I sounded. Before I could explain, I shut the door in her face. For days after, Sophie avoided me. Can't say I blamed her. But the more I saw her around, the more I regretted it. She was stunning, laid back, and she wasn't carrying around cursed baskets, so she already had one advantage over my previous interactions. I caught her at the gym a week later. We made awkward eye contact. I looked away. She looked away, like 2 middle schoolers dodging a confession. So finally, I swallowed my pride, walked over, and said, "Listen, I was an idiot. You didn't deserve that. Can I make it up to you?" She raised an eyebrow. "How? Dinner? Drinks? I'll even buy you some cookies, non-haunted ones." To my surprise, she laughed. And just like that, I had my first real date in months. That night, we stayed up late talking. I told her everything. The strange noises, the old woman, the baskets, the paranoia that followed me into this new apartment. She listened, really listened. Then she leaned in and whispered, "Maybe the problem isn't where you live." Her words stuck with me. Maybe she was right. Maybe I'd spent so much time running from haunted apartments that I hadn't considered. What if I was the common denominator? Still, for the first time in ages, I was starting to feel normal again. Until I went to Clara's apartment. A few days later, Clara invited me over for tea. I hesitated, but she was persistent. And honestly, I was tired of looking like a socially awkward hermit. So I went. Her place was cozy, well-decorated, warm lighting, a faint scent of vanilla candles. But then, I saw it. Sitting on her counter, a basket, the exact same design as the ones from before. I froze. "Where did you get that?" I asked, my voice tight. Clara glanced at it and then back at me, expression unreadable. "Oh, this? It's a common design around here. Why do you ask?" I hesitated. No reason. Just curious. But deep down, my stomach was twisting into knots. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing faint footsteps outside my door, slow, deliberate, like someone pacing just beyond the threshold. Then, a note slipped under my door. "You can't escape your past." I didn't even hesitate. I ran straight to Sophie's apartment, banging on the door. She answered, half asleep. "It's happening again," I blurted out. She pulled me inside, rubbing her eyes. "Okay, breathe. Tell me everything." So I did. And for the first time, I didn't feel crazy. "I think it's time you go home." I hadn't been home in years, hadn't seen my mom, hadn't stepped foot in my childhood house. But something about Sophie's words hit me. So I went. I sat in my mother's kitchen, staring at the old, faded wallpaper, feeling 10 years old again. "I need to ask you something," I said. She nodded, waiting. "Did anything weird ever happen when I was a kid?" My mother's face went pale. She didn't ask what I meant, didn't press for details. Instead, she sighed and said, "I was hoping you'd never remember. The nightmares, the paranoia, the feeling that something was always watching. It didn't start in that first apartment. It didn't start with Josh. It started with me, with something I had long forgotten, or something I had been forced to forget." My mother held my hand. For the first time in years, I saw tears in her eyes. "It's time to stop running, sweetheart." And for the first time in my life, I wanted to stop too. But then, she sighed. "I knew this would happen again," my mother murmured. I frowned. "Again?" "Mom, what do you mean?" She didn't answer at first. She just rubbed her hands together, nervous. "Did she give you something?" she finally asked. I felt my heart skip. "What?" "The woman," she said. "Did she give you a gift?" A lump formed in my throat. "How did you—" My mother closed her eyes. When she spoke, her voice was barely above a whisper. "They always do. They. Always." Something cold and ancient sank into my stomach. "Who are they?" I whispered. She exhaled. Then she told me, "They watch us. They wait. And when they choose someone, they make sure they're never alone again." I felt sick. "So you're saying this has happened before?" She nodded slowly. "Every few generations, they find one of us. And once they do, they send people." I shuddered. "People? Not people," she corrected. "They just look like people. Josh, the friendly landlord, the old woman downstairs." A chill spread through my bones. "They're all connected," I whispered. She nodded. "They don't want you dead, sweetheart. They want you to belong to them." My mind flashed back. Josh leading me to the new apartment, the landlord who conveniently had a room available, the old woman offering me the gift. It wasn't random. It was never random. I hadn't escaped. I had been placed. Then how do I stop it? I asked. My mother hesitated. "There's only one way," she said. She went to the kitchen and returned with a small tin box. Inside, wrapped in old fabric, was a rusted iron key. "Your grandfather tried to run. Your uncle tried to fight. Neither of them succeeded. But your great-grandmother?" She held up the key. "She found the way out." My fingers curled around the metal. "Where does it go?" She stared at me for a long moment. Then, she shook her head. "That's for you to find out. This isn't over. It never was. Whatever followed me, whatever placed me in that apartment, it's been planning this for longer than I even know. And next time, when they come back, I might not even realize it's happening.